Hi everyone. I'm gonna do another testimonial with another one of my students who took my 10-week story artist one-on-one mentorship. I would like to introduce you all to Kaylee. Hi Kaylee. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, so I'm Kaylee, and I learned I wanted to be a storyboard artist about a year ago when I took a class at my technical college for storyboarding, and it was actually a video game based uh, college, so it was a little bit different, but my professor had worked in the animation industry, and he got me really passionate about storyboarding. And when I left school, I felt like I had like the shots and like technical aspects of storyboarding uh, down, but I didn't feel like an actual story artist, which is what I wanted to be. So I decided to take Rajan's program and to refine my skills right after college. And I I definitely feel like I have more skills and a better structure to uh, work in the industry.
Awesome. And which part of America are you from?
I'm from Seattle, Washington.
Seattle. Okay, awesome. Okay, so the first question I kind of want to ask you is you said that you decided to join my mentorship early on, but could I ask you why in particular you decided to do this one-on-one mentorship? Because I know there are a lot of options out there online for students like yourself. Why did you zone in on this one?
Yeah, so I was originally looking at schoolism and I kind of did schoolism classes. And I felt like I wasn't getting like the feedback I really wanted or needed. So um, I really wanted to do your program to get feedback and like industry professional eyes that are like in the industry working on it now because my professor had been out of the industry for a while. So his feedback was great, but it wasn't really current information or like feedback, I should say. Um, but I wanted to get a pair of like fresh eyes on my work and tell me what I needed to really focus on.
Yeah, that makes sense. So in this mentorship, which is 10 weeks, which is kind of long for some people, in 5 week intervals, you were able to create, a piece in every 5 weeks, right? Could you tell me about, the process of actually creating those pieces and developing them with me? Like, well, if you had to describe it, what was that like for you?
It was definitely challenging for me. I so for our first project, I had to find a National Geographic nature documentary like video and take inspiration from that and create my own original story from it. So that was really fun and exciting. And I didn't realize how much work it was going to be. Uh, and so, oh, I did that. I kind of jumped into it rather than did the thumbnailing process right away. So I learned how important thumbnailing was, um, and really thinking about composing your shots before you go in and doing them. And then from there, I get feedback on what to add or take away from the story to make it more better um, and more cohesive to the story. And then for a second project was kind of could kind of do whatever I wanted. So I have I was in the process of moving from Seattle back to my hometown and how frustrating it was in trying to juggle life. And I was like losing my temper a lot. So for my next project, I decided to do this little lizard guy that turned into a dragon and um, trying to come up with his wants and needs for his story. So I had to come up with that whole little idea. And then I had a lot easier time. I actually think I thumbnailed that one twice because I realized how important thumbnailing was and how much more I needed to take it seriously. So I had a better foundation for that. So it was easier than my first project. Um, so yeah, I went from that and then refine the boards.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so for those of you who are listening, this mentorship is a lot of work, and I do, and push my students to always try to improve pieces and stuff. So it's a lot of hard work, a lot of heartache during this mentorship. But Kaylee did grow a lot from her first piece to her second piece, which was really cool to see. Um, so what like there were a lot of things that we covered in the mentorship in the presentation part of the mentorship. Were there any things that stood out to you that you actually didn't know before the mentorship and now you actually know now and are going to implement from now in the future?
I think the biggest thing that I took away, um, it was definitely more story related and making the shots more cohesive to the stories. I've done a lot of research and other just lesson courses on story structure and storyboarding. So I think the biggest thing I was getting out of this program was doing it rather than learning, but learning while I was doing it was a very effective way for me to learn, because you're learning and doing it hands on, rather than just watching somebody talk about it. And I think that really helped a lot. And learning how to storyboard in Photoshop was a game changer for me as well. And um, yeah, I definitely learned. I really liked learning about keeping the shots believable and like making it a believable story is one of the biggest things that I learned from the presentation. Uh, and not making it something that you're like, oh, like that wouldn't actually happen in real life. Kind of taking from life and putting it into your story, I think is one of the biggest things I've learned in this course.
That's so good to hear. So there were like many different things in the mentorship, the feedback sessions, sometimes I would do drawovers, the actual presentations and stuff like that. What part of the mentorship itself would you say was the most beneficial for you?
Oh, the most beneficial was when you drew over my boards for my first sequence.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm making my shots too cramped. And watching an industry professional draw over your work is, I think, the most effective way to learn, in my opinion. Yeah. So that really opened my eyes, and I was like, oh, this is how it's done. And yeah, that was really good for me to see and watch happen. And having the deadlines every week, like oh, I got to get it done on Monday. That was really helpful for me too. Like actually completing a project.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, deadline does really give you that extra push. So yeah, so if for those people who are watching right now, Kaylee, if you had to describe, the type of person that would benefit most from taking this mentorship, like who would you say should take this mentorship?
I would say people who aren't entirely sure if they want to go to college or not. Like doing this is like a college level class, and knowing like doing this class and learning is uh, it's a fraction of the price of a university where you're gonna go off into the world and just end up making your own boards after school anyway. So I think this is the best way to learn for a very affordable price. And I also think um, uh, it's for people who know that they want a storyboard and just refining their skills, because this isn't the technical, like, medium shot, long shot, close up kind of class. It's more like telling your story and finding out who you are as a storyteller. So anybody that wants to refine their skills, and maybe not want to go to a 4-year university, I think this is a great class
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, so that's very well described. Thank you for that. There was one question you asked me in your final class, which was telling you where do you stand with compared to like beginner, intermediate, advanced, and I kind of drew like this graph to kind of pinpoint exactly
Oh
where
yeah.
you were. And I like to be transparent, with my audience and the people who are watching this. I think Kaylee started in the intermediate level, and she moved up significantly, very close to the advanced level, and she grew a lot. And she is gonna go into the advanced level very soon. Like maybe in her next, two pieces, she'll be, an advanced storyboard artist. And I just want to be transparent and say that when you take this mentorship, I will help you grow and I will help you give you the tools. When you leave this mentorship, you mightn't be a master, you mightn't be an advanced person, but I want to open up your eyes to see the things that you should know and give you those things. So when you go out now by yourself and you're working on a new piece, you will develop and grow stronger than you were when you were taking this mentorship. So, Kaylee, I just want to thank you again for doing this, and I want you to maybe share your social media or your portfolio information and let everyone know where they can find you. You have,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah. 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 So it's Kaylee Nelson, or Kaylee Nicole Nelson, on Instagram, and then my portfolio is kayleenelson.portfolio.com, or .myportfolio.com.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. I will try and put all those links in the description. So wherever you're watching this, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram or LinkedIn, and you want to go and check out Kaylee's work, look in the description, and I should have a link there for you, right? So thank you everyone for watching, and thank you Kaylee for sharing your experience in the mentorship. Hopefully, you can help some people make the right decision on what course they should take, etc. Right?